One of the hardest things about living through history is that nobody tells you you're living through it. In the 1990s, plenty of smart people looked at the internet and called it a toy, not a fringe opinion, a common one, from people who had every reason to know better. History doesn't announce itself, it gets argued about in real time by people who are genuinely unsure. Right now, we are in one of those arguments. One side believes AI is becoming as important as electricity. The other believes we are watching one of the most expensive technology bubbles in history. They can't both be right. Both sides sound confident, but confidence isn't evidence. So instead of picking a side, I wanted to find the evidence myself. I started with the thing that doesn't lie the way headlines do: money. In the first 3 months of this year, investors put 330 billion into AI. One quarter, that single quarter, beat the entire AI industry's total investment for all of 2025, a full year combined. One quarter beat one whole year, and it wasn't scattered speculative money. It was concentrated in the most risk averse corners of the economy. The companies and governments that don't move fast unless they're genuinely convinced. Total worldwide AI spending is on pace to cross 2.5 trillion this year. The money doesn't prove AI is real. It proves that some of the largest, most cautious organizations in the world are behaving as if it is. That's a meaningful difference, but it's evidence, not proof. Governments are treating AI infrastructure as a matter of national power, not preference. The US has tightened and loosened export controls on advanced AI chips within the same year, based purely on strategic calculation. So the money says this is real, but money moving fast doesn't automatically mean the technology itself is different. Every generation has its gold rush, and that led me to a second question. Is AI actually different, or does it just feel that way because we're the ones living through it? To answer that, I looked at how previous revolutions actually spread, not how we remember them now, but how long they genuinely took. The internet took about 7 years to reach mass adoption. The personal computer took 15, but ChatGPT reached 100 million users in 2 months, not 2 years, 2 months. And by early this year, generative AI had reached an estimated half the global population in about 3 years. And the internet took roughly seven to get there. Here's why that gap matters more than the number itself. When a technology takes 10 to 15 years to spread, businesses have time. Time to watch competitors experiment first. Time to let someone else make the expensive mistakes. Then came in later, cheaper, and smarter. That's how businesses has worked for decades. AI doesn't give you that window. If adoption happens in months, I'll wait and see isn't a cautious strategy anymore. It's a way of finding out you're 2 years behind all at once. At this point, I had two pieces of evidence. The money is unprecedented. The speed is unprecedented as well. And I'll be honest, going into this, I expected the story to end there. Big number, fast adoption, obvious conclusion. Except everything pointing the same direction is exactly what should make you suspicious, not confident. So I kept digging, looking for where it would get complicated. Finally, I found it. McKinsey's most recent global survey found that nearly 90% of companies now use AI in at least one part of their business, almost universal adoption. But separate research shows fewer than a third of them report any measurable profit from it. Read that gap again. Almost everyone has adopted the technology, but fewer than a third have turned it into money. That gap is the real story. Not AI is transforming everything, and not AI is overhyped. Both are too simple. The real finding is this: adopting AI is now nearly universal and nearly meaningless on its own. The businesses that actually benefit are the ones restructuring around it, not the ones who bought the tool first. So, where does that leave the question I opened with? Revolution or bubble? I think that's the wrong question. Every previous technology, the printing press, electricity, the internet, eventually settled into being a tool, a powerful one, but a tool that sat alongside human work, making it faster. What makes this moment different isn't the size of the investment, and it isn't even the speed of adoption, remarkable as both are. It's this: for the first time, the technology isn't just making human work faster, it's increasingly doing the cognitive work itself. That's a different category of change. It doesn't improve one industry, it touches every industry built on thinking, deciding, and analyzing, which is most of them. That's the actual mechanism behind every number I just showed you. Why the money is this large, why the adoption is this fast, why the gap between adoption and profit is this wide. Businesses aren't just buying a faster tool, they are trying to work alongside something that competes with the one thing they used to have a monopoly on: human judgment. And that consequence doesn't stop at company walls. If AI is becoming a strategic asset, then the next question isn't really about technology, it's about geography. Which countries understand this first and what they're already changing because of it? Visa rules, investment incentives, and where capital and talents are welcomed. That's not a future story, it's happening right now, and it's where we are going next on this channel. Here's where the evidence actually leaves us. This isn't the story of a chatbot, it's the story of one of the largest economic shifts most of us will witness in our lifetimes. Not because someone declared it so, but because the money, the speed, and the response all point at the same direction, independently of each other. History never announces itself, it never has. The only advantage any of us has is recognizing it while it's still being argued about, not afterward, once everyone already agrees. I'm not going to tell you which side to take. That's not what this channel is for. What I will do every week is take what's actually happening with real numbers, real sources, no hype, and walk through what it means for your capital, your business, and your next move. That's what this channel is for. My name is Rakib Rashon. I'll see you in the next video.